country in the area of education. We, being a part of his organization, thought we would help the English language teachers. We used to call the teachers in the schools around our area. Now, as Deepesh rightly put it, online mode has taken us outside Kelambakam and Kalavakkam to the rest of the country. And we have also been able to get resource persons from Karnataka, Kerala, and elsewhere. Very few colleges actually at the degree level attempt a school teacher training program. And SSN is perhaps, I can claim, as a pioneer in doing it. And we feel very delighted in doing it. I think Relo's help will in this initiative would always be welcome.
Sir, Fatima is also here.
Oh, welcome, Fatima.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. We're really very, very privileged to have you with us, with so much of your experience with the children and mindfulness in the hospitals in Bangalore and also with educational institutions.
It's a pleasure. So I really should thank Soju and Cherry for initiating this with me. Hi, Soju.
Hi, Fatima.
Hi, and Cherry.
Hi.
I'm meeting you for the first time, haven't I?
Yes.
Nice to be on.
Shall we begin?
Begin, Tirusa?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
So a warm welcome to all of you to the 2021 edition of the School Teachers Workshop conducted by SSN College of Engineering, Chennai. We are the Department of English, but we are deeply conscious of our own multilingualism, and as a sign of respect for our languages, let us invoke the Tamil Thai, personification of the Tamil language. I now request my colleague, Dr. Cherry Matthew Philippos, one of the two coordinators of the workshop, to make his introductory remarks.
Thank you, Deepesh Chandrasekhar. Good morning, one and all. We are delighted to have you all with us for the 2021 edition of the SSN School Teachers Workshop. Due to the pandemic, the otherwise physical workshop has gone virtual this time, because of which we have participation from many states and union territories of India. Thanks for the overwhelming response and enthusiasm. We are indeed honored. First slide, please. So rewind in time, and I hope many of you will still fondly remember this picture-perfect image of our classrooms. We had a plan and a rhythm, and things were going fine. Then the pandemic hit us hard, and governments all around the world, including that of ours, decided to ground everything to fight back this faceless enemy. Very soon, we realized that education must go on, and thus, second slide, please. Jaguma sir, you just have to click on the second slide. Third tab, second slide. Yes, thank you. This happened. Same teacher, different tools. With the wave of a wand, we all were anointed as online teachers. Sadly, the wand, in most instances, forgot to put any support system in place to guide us through. But we are teachers, and as a tribe, we don't give up that easily. And thus, we improvised and came up with this. Third slide, please. Just have to press the arrow. Right, yes. You have to press the arrow. Yep. Old wine in a new bottle. Majority of us moved our physical teaching online and were happy about it. Teaching became a performance in front of a camera without much of a clue of what is happening at the other end. That is, with the learners and the learning. However, we went on learning new things each day. But we know things weren't going that great because, fourth slide, please. So admin in 2020, please be prepared to teach online, in person, both simultaneously, on a moving train, while juggling, in a burning building, under the sea, during a wrestling match with a T-Rex, as a hologram, and riding a unicorn. Also, be safe, and we value you. Yes, we, the English department at Sri Shiva Subramanian Nadar College of Engineering, Chennai, do value you and have come up with this pandemic pedagogy virtual workshops to help you cope with all this. And we know there is more. Miss Fatima Khader, Mr. Saik Anamakumaran, and Mr. Sojo Varghese, three excellent educators, have joined hands with us in this journey of learning and sharing because we know. Fifth slide, please. You are teachers trying to keep up with virtual teaching, parent emails, virtual department meetings, virtual school-wide meetings, your own children, coronavirus, etc. And yet you say, I'm fine, and are here to learn, to grow, because we know there is always room for improvement. Stop sharing, please. Thank you, Jagan sir. These 5-hour-long, 3 different virtual workshop sessions, we hope, will help you think about pandemic pedagogy in a positive way and will add value to you and to your teaching. Wish you all a fruitful day of learning. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dr. Cherry, for that very innovative way of setting that, introducing the workshop. I now invite our very dynamic head of the department, Professor S. Thiruvenkadasamy, to set the tone for the workshop with his inaugural address.
Thank you, Dipesh. And the tone was already set by Cherry. What I would like to do now is to, first of all the participants to this workshop from different parts of the country, the resource persons, the educators, Fatima Khader, consultant, motherhood and founder, Evolved, who's a consultant in the space of development of children, creating conditions for happiness, heartfulness, interconnectedness, and mindfulness. And we have Saik Anaman Kumaran. He'll be joining us soon, who's going to be talking on journey of a non-native English teacher. How did a native English teacher become one of the most sought after educators in the world? A topic which is very dear to me, and he himself is a standing example of how a non-native English teacher is now occupying a position in the international arena as an educator and also as a logistics support for all the most prominent, well-known English language teachers conferences in the world like IATFL, TESOL, JALT, and several others. We also have with us Sojo Varghese. an educator with more than a decade and a half rich and varied experience behind him in teacher training. He's a mentor for the teachers. We are very happy to have all of you with us to this flagship program of the English Department of SSN College of Engineering, Chennai, namely the Workshop for School Teachers. So realizing the immense responsibility and contribution by the English language teaching fraternity at the school level, our department has been organizing workshops for training English teachers in schools as a regular annual feature. Now, perhaps from this year, we'll have more than one per year, because this particular workshop is meant to be a workshop in a series of workshops we intend to organize for them. School teachers certainly are the backbone of English language studies, not only in India, but anywhere else in the world for that matter. They take charge of children at the prime and most critical time of their language development. Certainly, we at the college level have these children already shaped and trained by the school teachers, and we certainly have to help them in honing their skills furthermore, so that their contribution to children becomes very effective, and it will be a great contribution to the growth of the nation. Pandemic pedagogy, the theme for the workshop, as you all understand, it's obvious. It is the need of the hour. I'm sure deliberations with the three talented, well-known, reputed, experienced educators today will result in developing rewarding insights and awareness raising on best and also the worst practices, advice, successes, challenges, and research about online instruction during COVID-19 pandemic. Online instruction has been with us even before the pandemic, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, it will continue with us in the post-pandemic too, with a difference, with the kind of experience that we have gained during this pandemic period, which has lasted almost a year now. So this workshop is extremely timely and very meaningful. I look forward to the deliberations by the educators, and also we have our friends from USIS and RELO, Anne and Brinda. We warmly welcome you in our midst. Your presence is a great source of support for conducting this kind of conferences. We look forward to your support in our future endeavors too. With these few words, I take leave.
Thank you, sir. And just as Professor Thiruvenkadasamy just pointed out, we have several friends across various fields and geographical boundaries. The US Consulate is one of our great friends, ever willing to offer their help and support. To represent the consulate, we have Ms. Anne Sheshadri, Public Affairs Officer, US Consulate General. Over to Ms. Sheshadri for felicitations.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, faculty and participants. Thank you so much for inviting us. As Professor said, my name is Anne Sheshadri. I'm the Public Affairs Officer at the US Consulate General in Chennai. My first job, actually, when I first went abroad as a 22-year-old, was as an English teacher in rural Thailand in a village. With just a few months instruction under my belt, I soon realized that teaching English was much harder than it appeared it was going to be at the surface. I did learn it was fun and could be very creative, but ultimately it was a lot of work. But as you know, teaching English, like teaching any other subject, is extremely rewarding. So I was really delighted to have that experience. And I'm so happy that the US Mission to India has a very large and thriving English language office, which we call RELO, for Regional Language Office. So I can tell you a little bit about what we do and what opportunities you might want to avail yourselves of. The reason we offer English as part of our endeavor to promote people-to-people relations, I think it should be clear to everyone. English is really the gateway to participation in an increasingly globalized world economy, and it's a way to help you contribute to the prosperity of your family, your community, and your nation. English is the language that unites India and the United States, and a vital part of our mission is to ensure that all of India's diverse people can be part of this dialogue. So we don't want to just be reaching out to the cities, but we want to be reaching out to the rural areas as well. And I'm really delighted to hear about SSN College's initiatives to include outreach to the community and to the government schools around them. I think that's wonderful. So our English language office, as I called it, our RELO office, we offer a wide range of English teacher education and language proficiency programs and materials. And the idea is to support Indian universities, schools, and students in their efforts to increase the level of English language proficiency. We work in partnership with teacher associations, state governments, teacher training institutions, and select schools and colleges to offer short-term, need-based teacher training programs. Local institutions recruit participants, and we offer the service of experts in the field of TESOL. Now, we are talking today about pandemic pedagogy, and like you all, we've transitioned our services to the virtual world. We used to bring English language experts to India, and we called them ELFs, English Language Fellows. Now we've added a V, and we have VELFs, Virtual English Language Fellows. So I do hope you get to train under them. They're really some fantastic and super expert people. We did recently collaborate with a VELF. Well, it was an ELF because it was pre-pandemic. Her name was Nicole, and I believe she collaborated with SSN College on an international ELT conference. One of our VELFs is doing a really creative project right now, and she's actually doing workshops on how you can use comics, English comics, to teach English. I don't know if you've heard of this comic called Priya's Mask, but it's about India's first female superhero. And there's several versions of the comic. And this latest version is about COVID-19 and sort of the isolation that kids are feeling and sort of the mental health challenges they're dealing with. And so we have that comic book in English. We also have it in regional Indian languages, but we use it as a teaching tool for English, and it's quite popular. So if you'd like to know more about that session with that VELF or other RELO sessions, please do visit our Facebook page, RELO India, and I think Brenda is going to put that contact information in the chat box. We're very excited about India's National Education Policy 2020, New Education Policy 2020, which will really open up doors for India-US collaboration in higher education. I believe this new education policy emphasizes supporting teachers not only to develop English language proficiency, but also to help their students develop critical thinking, reflection, problem solving, and analytical thinking. And we have special series done by our English language experts to train teachers in how to help convey these skills. And so please do join this series as well. Apart from our English language services, we have an American Center and an American Library in Chennai. We also have them for those of you who may be in other parts of the country. We have these in 4 different cities in India, as well as Delhi, in all of our consulates. Right now, the American Center is unfortunately closed, but we hope by this summer it will be open. So we do invite you to visit us and take part in our programs. We have books on a variety of topics, from policies, economy, global issues, society, culture, literature, history, and contemporary society. We are also, we also have a small Tamil language collection. And we also have virtual programs, not necessarily about English, but about different aspects of US culture and society. And if you're interested just in hearing Native American voices, you might be interested in some of these virtual programs. I think the next one coming up on the 26th will be about, for Black History Month, will be about racism in the United States and some of the events of 2020. Now, the next to last thing I want to mention is the USIF Foundation, USIEF. And this is the part of our consulate that offers support for students who want to pursue US higher education in the United States. And it also offers Fulbright fellowships, which are not just for students. We also have Fulbright fellowships for teachers and professionals and administrators. So I wanted to mention in particular a special award we have called Fulbright Distinguished Teaching Awards for international teachers. This is a fully funded professional development opportunity, and it's for US university for teacher and teacher trainers. It's open now for applications, and the application deadline is April 15th. So you have a lot of time to perfect your application, and Brenda will put that information in the chat box as well. And again, for our exchange programs, we want to make sure we're reaching outside of India's big cities and giving opportunities to people from rural areas. And diversity is very important for us on American campuses. And with that, I just wanted to share a quote from our new First Lady. You know, we have a new administration in the United States, and that is the Biden-Harris administration, of course, quite famous in South India, as Kamala Harris has roots in Tamil Nadu, which is very exciting, I think, for both of us. But our our First Lady is Jill Biden, and she goes by Dr. Jill Biden because she is, in fact, a PhD in education, and she actually is continuing to work at a community college while she is the First Lady, which is a breaking new ground for us. But she's really passionate about English education. Maybe someday we can get a webinar with her, and we invite you all to join that. But I want to close with a quote from her. She says, "I teach because I believe education is the great equalizer. Every day in my classroom, I see the power of education to break down barriers, to open students' eyes to the possibilities around them, and to provide them with opportunities to grow into the people they aspire to be." And with that, I want to wish you a wonderful day of learning, and thank you very much for including us.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sheshadri, for giving us all information about all the offerings of the US Consulate, and also for, in a way, putting it in perspective with Dr. Biden's quote. We quite look forward to having a partaking of what she has to say about education in general. Thank you. I now invite my colleague, Dr. M. Shamla Bharati, fellow coordinator of the workshop, to propose the vote of thanks for today's inaugural function. No.
Unmute.
Yeah, thank you, Deepesha. On behalf of SSN College of Engineering, Department of English, it's a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks for this occasion for our online teachers workshop 2021 titled Pandemic Pedagogy. Once a great man whispered, feeling thankfulness and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. So today, let me take the opportunity to unfold all my gratitude, words of gratitude to all the great souls present here. First and foremost, our Honorable President, Dr. Kala Vijay Kumar, for continuous support in initiating this program. Next, our most respected Principal, Dr. Annamalai, for being a pillar of support and just guiding us. Thanks to respected Head of the Department, Dr. Thiruvenkata for guiding us and giving us his continuous support in encouraging us to run this program in an online teaching mode among this pandemic situation. I thank our great guest for today, Miss Annie, Public Affairs Officer, U.S. Consulate General, for gracing this occasion and also for sharing her felicitation to make this program a great success. And I would like to thank Ms. Birinder for helping us to reach Ms. Annie to be a part of our program. I will also remember my colleagues who were a great backbone, strong backbone behind the whole event and made this program a successful endeavor. Our sincere thanks to all the participants who had blessed this occasion with their presence. Last but not the least, our technical support team, Mr. Jaykumar, Dr. Dinakaran, and our good Samaritan, Mr. Mahesh, for helping us in everything. Once again, I thank everyone to make this program a real success. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Shamla. I think you just left one line which says thanks to the resource persons as well. Thank you to the three resource persons. Amazing job. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That brings us to the end of the inaugural function. We invite all the participants of the workshop to join us for the first session by clicking on the link that they have received in a little while from now, because we are hoping to start at 9 a.m. Thank you, and thank you, everyone.